Carr.
Here.
Shoreline.
Here.
Barfield.
Here.
Frederick.
Here.
Charles.
Here.
Keith.
Here.
Young.
Welcome everyone here to our meeting today on June 18th. Last month or so we've had a few things of interest. One is, and this is the first time I've done it, Lake and Fly-In. Pretty interesting breakfast on Sunday morning, and you know, I said, "Rip, we're going here, I want to see this," you know. There is a lot of people, that's a great event, and it was amazing how many people I knew that were there, and you know, the price was right for the breakfast and everything, so really good event, a lot of people, really neat. If you haven't been there, do it. It was the 51st annual, so pretty amazing. Also, second, coming up, we had the 2nd of June, wife and I, some people know I like hot rods, we went racing up in Byron. It was a special nostalgia race, special rules, but it was real elimination. Then it turned into heads up, and I won with my 56 wagon on stock eliminator. So I put it on a 62 vet up there, and he still wants to rematch me next month, so it's going to be fun. Well, we actually won. It's actually a stock eliminator win, so that's pretty cool. And also today, there's a special person, you know, Charles Owens' nephew. They had a dedication day for people who haven't been to Chillicothe. Ryan Owens, Navy SEAL. They named the road after him, and the post office is dedicated now. So that was today. Big event. A lot of people, a lot of cameras. I expected to be on the news. It was really a good turnout. The biker group comes in that does their thing, you know, forms like a little area of flags. Really nice. Darren LaHood was there. Chuck Weaver was there. Lieutenant Governor was there. But really good, you know, to see that. So again, Ryan Owens, so when you're down there, think about that, take a look at that flag. Regular meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. I'll second that motion.
Carr.
Yes.
Shoreline.
Yes.
Barfield.
Yes.
Frederick.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
Keith.
Yes.
Special meeting minutes?
Make a motion to approve the special meeting minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Carr.
Yes.
Shoreline.
Yes.
Barfield.
Yes.
Frederick.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
Keith.
Yes.
Accounts payable.
Make a motion to approve the accounts payable.
Second that motion.
Carr.
Yes.
Shoreline.
Yes.
Barfield.
Yes.
Frederick.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
Keith.
Yes.
Treasurer's report for May.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report for May.
Second the motion.
We've got Carr.
Yes.
Shoreline.
Yes.
Barfield.
Yes.
Frederick.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
Keith.
Yes.
Had several visitors to speak today. First will be Brody Rumble, Eagle Scout, getting ready to, and then we'll have car cruise in, and Bill Watkins got a note on her. So Brody, come on forward, tell you what you're gonna do.
I'm Brody Rumble out of Troop 74 here in Henry. I've already started. I'm painting the Legion, and we're almost done. We got touch-ups to do left. I'm coming to you to ask for a small donation of your choice to offset the cost of the American Legion, since it's our charter organization here in Henry, and it spruces up, makes the town look a little better, and everyone passes it to go to the 4th of July and everything, and just make it offset the cost for them, so it's not a big burden on them, since they do a lot for the community.
How much is your paint costing you so far?
Right around like $600. It doesn't have to be much, whatever you guys wanna offer or donate, it'll be fun.
When's the last time it was painted? Just for fun, is it like every 10 years, 15? or-
20 years ago,
20 years
15,
ago?
20.
Okay.
So,
And the Legion's obviously gonna offset anything that isn't donated, correct?
yeah,
I'm thinking $100 would be
I was thinking like 200.
200. All right. Do you think 100 would be
oh, that'd be
helpful?
funny, yeah.
Okay.
Just make the check out to the Henry American Legion, so we can reimburse them.
All right. 200. All right, we'll go 200. So I'll make a motion for $200 to be donated to the American Legion.
I'll second that. Thank you.
Thanks, Brody.
Carr,
Yes.
Joanne,
Yes.
Brookfield,
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
and Keith.
Yes.
The pub cruising, let's give us on.
Yes, back in May, we did our first annual cruise-in from the pub, AKA Hofer's. We had a successful event. I think Steve Keltz counted approximately about 70 cars in and out. So like I said, it was excellent with what was going on for that weekend. We're asking to do the same thing on Sunday, July 22nd. We want to have the event from 12 to 5. We do have a band that we have scheduled in hopes that you guys would approve that we can put out. Kind of wanting to place them out front of the pub in a couple parking spots there and set them up. They're scheduled to play from 2 to 5 with your guys' approval to do that. Again, it'll be the same thing as last year, just hope for more cars this year. We put out we'll probably handed out about 100 flyers for this event in hopes that we can do it. So just ask for that approval. We'd like to do the same thing with the street closures from the meeting place at the alley down to the alley prior to Dairy Queen, and then the 2 sections of the side street. The only thing in addition to I'd like to ask for, if everybody wouldn't mind, I'd like to block off all of Edward Street from the stop sign down to the pub, all on the pub side, and leave the parking spots on the right open to get into the alleyway of the pizza place. We want to try to get more cars up on that block due to people being separated, so I don't know if that would be an issue, if we can put up more cones, so at least they could park. I don't know if it'd work or not. I was just trying to get more people together in the one block instead of having that separation down towards Dairy Queen. Because I felt like those people were left out, and if we're gonna put a band, it's hard to centrally locate them so everybody can see.
Only challenge I have with that little extra piece there past the alley is you're gonna have conventional traffic driving past show cars with people that like to back up and take pictures.
True.
And that's why you try to keep them away from the standard color, because you get someone come in there who doesn't even know what's going on, and then could have an issue.
And I'm fine with what we had last time.
I kind of like
It
the
worked out
cross,
nice.
so
Yeah.
it's a full rally, that I think is manageable.
So I thought it was a great
Much
turnout.
easier, yeah.
I would like to, if we could get a few more cones or a few barricades this time. A little bit more orange out there would be nice.
We had one driver that didn't understand what was going on there.
Okay.
That was okay, nobody got hurt.
But yeah, so that's it. We just want to do that. And again, then we have another one we'd like to do in the fall. I can't remember. I think it was towards the end of September, so.
I make a motion to approve the pub cruise in car show for July 22nd.
Yep, Sunday, and it's on a Sunday, so there'll be no businesses open on that street too, so.
Also,
Thank you very much.
Hey,
Keith,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Cedric,
Yes.
Brookfield,
Yes.
Shoreline,
Yes.
Carl.
Yes. Next, Bill Boppin.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I think my comments would be better placed under zoning and planning. I see you have the 1715 ordinance on the agenda. So rather than be speaking now, I'd like to reserve my comments until we get to that committee report. Is there any problem with that?
Sure. No, we'll go first.
Huh?
No, we can go first. Okay, sure, thanks.
And I am a little hard of hearing, so if I look at it the second time, I can get it. All right, thank you.
Thing, you got it turned on?
Not yet. Never speak in public without it done. No.
All righty. Standing committees. Finance and insurance.
Couple orders of business. The first addresses the public hearing that we just held at 6:15. It's public ordinance 1717. It's the appropriation budget for 2018-19. It's an ordinance making appropriations for the corporate purpose of the city of Henry, Illinois, for the fiscal year commencing on the first day of May, AD 2018, and ending on the 30th day of April, God bless you, AD 2019. I would like to make a motion to pass that. The only thing I want to update is I said before, the total amount was $5,900,300. It's actually $5,926,848. I'd like to make a motion for that, right?
I'll second that motion.
Carr,
Yes.
Shoreline,
Yes.
Brookfield,
Yes.
Cedric,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
and Keith.
Yes.
All right, the second order of business deals with the prevailing wage for 2018. This is ordinance number 1718. Ordinance of the City of Henry, Marshall County, Illinois, ascertaining the prevailing rate of wages for laborers, workmen, and mechanics employed on public works for the City of Henry for 2018. I'd like to make a motion to pass that ordinance.
Carr,
Yes.
Shoreline,
Yes.
Brookfield,
Yes.
Cedric,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Keith.
Yes.
Last order of business is we've had multiple meetings in the last month and a half dealing with both union and non-union wages increases effective July 1st, 2018. The actual monetary amounts, we would go in closed session for those, right? To discuss them, or?
If you want to go into
Yes,
closed
if
session.
anybody has questions on those, we had a committee meeting, met with the union, got everything agreed upon with them, and then we met, that was in negotiations, which I'll speak of later with the committee, and then finance and insurance, we had our own meeting also to confirm the rates we want to go with for next year. So like I said, if you have particular questions about what those are, we can go into closed session. We can discuss those quickly. If not, you can just take the committee's recommendations and move forward. Good. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the union and non-union wage increases effective July 1st, 2018.
I'll second that motion.
Carr,
Good.
Shoreline,
Yes.
Brookfield,
Yes.
Cedric,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes,
Keith.
Yes.
that is all I have at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Ed? Buildings and grounds?
Have a couple of items on the City Hall roof repair that were kind of unexpected. The first is the front, on the front fascia, the part that extends above the top of City Hall, but it's on the back side. And there was a need to remove loose mortar and re-skim coat that area in order to prevent it from leaking. That work was done by Triple J Masonry. And I'd like to approve the payment of $2,600 for that work to City Hall roof.
I'll second
Keith,
it. Yes.
Carl,
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes?
Brookfield,
Yes.
Schulweig,
Yes.
Carr.
Yes.
The second was, I think we were pretty fortunate in finding not too bad of an area, but there was an area of bad wood underneath shingles that had to be replaced. And we had Oster Roofing was able to complete that. So that was an additional $2,320 based on time and materials. I'd like to make a motion to approve that expenditure.
I'll second that motion.
Carr,
Yes.
Schulweig.
Yes.
Brookfield,
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes?
Carl,
Yes.
Keith.
Yes.
Anything else, Bill, that needs to be?
I think they're complete now, we're just cleaning up. It's done.
They moved pretty quick on that roof.
Yes.
Okay,
That's it?
thanks, Ron. Please, and Hesta.
I've got nothing on the agenda. Chief, you got any updates?
No, we're just continuing with the cleanup process, getting ready for the 4th of July. A lot of people have been coming in and registering their golf carts, we appreciate that. Everything else has been pretty good.
And I think one thing we might do next year, just food for thought, is put an expiration date on the actual stickers. So we can work on that, chief.
Yep.
Because a lot of people,
They have questions when to come in.
when it's actually coming and when it's due, so put a date on it.
Wasn't it like May to May?
It's supposed to be May to May.
Yeah.
Right, a lot of people aren't sure if it's January, they all get confused, so let's put a date on there and
Yep.
there'll be no excuses.
It doesn't cost much. Any update on the replacement for Jim Likens?
No, I haven't heard anything.
Because that was something we,
Yeah.
okay. Streets and lights?
Number of things. The first one is Resolution 0218. I'd like to make a motion for the temporary closure of the state-maintained roadway for public. This is for the 4th of July parade. Somebody was asking at the last meeting when we did that, but it was in last June's package as well, so.
I'll second it.
Frederick,
Yes.
Carl,
Yes.
Keith,
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Schulweig,
Yes.
Brookfield.
Yes. Okay, and then Gene was kind enough to pass out these meeting minutes from our last meeting. I know you could quickly read these, but a number of things. We've got, the first one is the purchase of a replacement truck and a box for a total of $48,002. This is to replace the 2003 F-350 truck. Bill received a trade-in value, I guess, from Elchoni Ford and Granville. If you look at that pricing, it does include the price does include the municipal discount. Is what it's referred to. But the breakdown on that is the new truck was roughly about $43,000. Replacement or a new truck box was like another 11. So if you read my meeting minutes, you'll see that committee meeting minutes, you'll see that we're a little optimistic about what we thought that F-350 would be worth on traded value. But I guess that's another question is, would we want to put that out to bid, or would we want to just take the traded value on that truck?
Is there a book value at all? I mean, that's so many variables in play there with the vehicle value.
Well, I think it also depends on you can get a book value online, but it's not going to tell you exactly what the value is based upon what work has been done to that truck or needs to be done to that truck. So if you read my meeting minutes, you'll see that Bill informed us that we spent about $11,000 on that truck in the past 2 years. So I think it's just kind of, anything else you want to throw in there, Bill, about that?
I called Al at Choney's, and he said that that's a wholesale price. He can't really give us a retail price for it. When he gives us a wholesale price and municipal discount and the state bid, he said he can move the figures where it looks better, but that
Well, when
just
you say
isn't
the
fair.
wholesale value, you're talking about the trade-in?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah, 'cause he's not that close.
yeah, and he said we may be able to get more
Yeah.
as a bid, but that's gamble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the first thing is, you guys want to, if we do go with a new truck, do we want to place that 2003 out for bid and see if we can get more value for it?
Does the box and everything stay with it?
Box stays with it, and so does the front end for the plow, right, Bill? Or does it
Yeah.
come with the plow?
Yeah, it comes with a lot.
Comes with the plow. So it's a four-wheel drive with a dump box and snow plow. And it's is it the 6.0 diesel or the 6?
What's that, our oldest truck?
What's that?
Is that our oldest truck?
Chevy pickup.
Yeah, that's the oldest. No, the big truck's the oldest. It's a 2002.
Yeah, the Sturm. You still have that shit?
And you guys, Al Shoney's one, what you want to do?
It was a state bid.
State bid.
Yeah.
Well, can we put it out for bid? We don't pay for the truck till it comes. We can put it out for bid, and if we get more than this,
Can we put a reserve amount on a bid?
yeah.
Okay.
So we've got time to do it.
I mean, we can put it out for bid and see what we get, because the truck will be 6 to 8 weeks.
With the shot.
So we can put it out for bid, and if we sell it, great. I'm sure he won't be too upset.
Sure you would. Okay. Well, and then also, if you're reading those meeting minutes, we got so this is a quote for a F-550. We also got a quote for a F-450, because the city public works crew basically has found that F-350 just doesn't have enough guts underneath it to do some of the work it needs to do, especially with some of the plowing. So, and there's a $1,000 difference between the F-450 and the 550. So, let's see. Well, I guess I'll just make my motion for the purchase of an F-550 truck and new box from Koenig for $48,102. We'll get more later on that delivery. And again, if you're reading those meeting minutes, the budget for this item and the other item for the Sterling truck that we did to, we've got $25,000 already budgeted into water, sewer, and streets. So
one question I saw later when we talk about tires for Sterling truck. Is this the same truck?
No, so the Sterling is,
Ah, okay.
the Sterling is, so I'll go through this also, and we'll come back to that. So the Sterling is the big dump truck, single axle. And the truck bed and the salt spreader on that are at the end of their life span, or there's just not enough places to patch and weld and all that. So we've got a price from Coney Body to put on a new box and a spreader. That's for $20,699. Stainless steel box was another $6,000 or so.
I think we got to vote on
Yeah,
it.
we
I know, I'm just explaining, as I said, I'm going through to explain for Ed that the other items, what they were, so, because it didn't seem like we hadn't gotten a second on that F5, or the 550.
I'll second that one, we're second a motion on the 550 truck.
Carr,
Yes.
Shoreline.
Yes.
Brookfield,
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
and Keith.
Yes.
Okay, so now the Sterling, again, to replace the existing truck bed and salt spreader, I'm going to make a motion to purchase a box and spreader for $20,699 from Coney Body Works.
Can I ask, how long we plan on keeping this truck? I mean, it's 2002. I mean, we're gonna dump $20,000 into it. I mean, does it run good? And
Yeah, we just had a new injection pump put on it, just got new tires on it. Another 10 years, I don't see a problem. It's only got 26,000 miles on it.
Yeah, I just, see, it's kind of old.
It was 107,000. So,
I'll second it.
Carr,
Yes.
Shoreline.
Yes.
Brookfield,
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Keith.
Yes.
Now the big money on the sidewalk share program. You get in your packet, it's not listed here, but in your packets, sidewalk share programs for 2 homeowners. The first is 307 Adams Street for William Fountain. I'd like to make a motion to approve $400 for the city's portion of the sidewalk share program.
I'll second.
Carr,
Yes.
Shoreline.
Yes.
Brookfield,
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes.
Charles, Keith.
Yes.
Okay, the second one, I'd like to make a motion to approve $520 for the city's portion of the sidewalk share program at 900 Edward Street, which is Ron Frederick's property.
I'll second that one.
And the first one was Fountains.
Yeah. That was at 309 Adams?
307 Adams is what it says.
Oh, 307 Adams, yeah. That was 400.
Carr,
Yes.
Shoreline.
Yes.
Brookfield,
Yes.
Frederick,
Present.
Charles,
Yes.
and Keith.
Yes.
Next item, sidewalk repair at Edward Street and Second Street outside of Wilson's Insurance. I'd like to make a motion to approve $1,500 to replace sidewalks and fabricate and install new metal grates.
I'll second.
Carr,
Yes.
Schorling, Littlefield,
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
and Keith.
Yes.
Okay, the next item, I'm gonna table that until we've got some specific language. If you look at your meeting minutes, you'll see that we did discuss in our committee meeting about how to bid out concrete debris from various city projects. So,
Put some language to it, right?
yeah, it's at the bottom of this, so Bill and I will work on that. Come back to that. Next item, I'd like to approve $1,750 for new rear tires, 4 rear tires on the Sterling truck from Roberts Brothers.
Carr,
Yes.
Schorling,
Yes.
Littlefield,
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Keith.
Yes.
Next item, in your packet, request for an alley closure at the corner of 3rd and School Street, Steve Kell property, to close the alley. He can have a small car show there, traffic going through there.
During the parade.
Yeah, during the parade. He's done this past 2 years.
Yeah, it's, went that direction, it's doing quite well.
So this would be to motion the alley closure between 3rd and the center of the block,
Intersection.
basically that corner of 3rd and School.
That's the
West
wall.
corner.
I'll second.
Keith,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes.
Littlefield,
Yes.
Schorling,
Yes.
Carr.
Yes.
Next item, we got MFT skip paving. I'd like to make a motion to approve pavement maintenance, skip paving for $32,400.
I'll second that motion.
Carr,
Yes.
Schorling,
Yes.
Littlefield,
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Keith.
Yes.
All right. Next item, seal coating with Porter Brothers. Bill, you want to, well, I asked Bill if we've gotten any, I guess I could ask you too, Jeff, if we've gotten any response back on some of the streets that these guys did last year.
We met with Porter Brothers, and I've met with 2 different engineers and IDOT. The engineers, also including IDOT, all are kind of like looking at the coverage, saying, well, it's covered, but it's not. It kind of looks like it's planted in rows. Speaking to Porter Brothers, they said it has the bar height, and that they weren't getting a triple overlap, and so. I've never seen anything quite like it. And I've been doing engineering since 1990, so. But they said they would redo it, and it was not an issue, so.
Yeah, because I know the mayor's had his ear bent on some of those
Yeah,
streets.
I've had my ear bent on.
Like gravel up in the areas. I drove down, I was like, man, who rode the road?
So, yeah, and then IDOT, there's been some issues as far as, Porter Brothers, is whether they were eligible or not, paperwork. I've spoken with IDOT. IDOT is about, really zero help on this. So, I've spoken with Peoria County engineer. I've spoken with a number of people. So, at this point in time, just based off of talking to IDOT and everybody else, I would think the best option right now is to award it to Porter Brothers. We start getting into issues on whether we can use MFT or not use MFT money. We get into issues with, is Porter Brothers going to come back and take care of
Yeah,
that?
well,
We're what to
that's
fight
just
them,
it.
and how much money are we going to spend fighting? If they come back? So,
Well, I mean,
It's-
there's a $5,000 or $5,200 difference, but I kind of agree with you, Jen, that if we, not that I would just give it to them, but like, okay, if you're gonna come and do this new work, you're gonna do the old work at the same time.
Yeah, and that's basically what's been, you know, and it basically, if we don't like their work after this year, they'll be hard.
What is the difference between skip paving and seal coating?
Skip paving is actual asphalt, so it's a hot mix. We lay it down in a layer, and seal coat is just the oil and the rock.
So you said they committed to come back to resolve the issues we've had with prior work?
Yes.
Will they do that before this new contract, or so we can see?
They'll do it at the
They'll
same
do all
time.
of it,
I don't imagine.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the Porter Brothers seal paving, seal coating bid of $37,785.
Second.
Carr,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brookfield,
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
That, I believe, is all I got.
Well, that's it. Thanks, Jeff. Zoning and planning, Dan?
Bill, if you want to hold off for a second, I might answer quite a few of your questions in my
Might
explanation.
save us some time.
Save you some time.
That's fine.
We've got on here, this is the ordinance for splitting up the property for Larry Johnson over by Casey's. The whole thing with the application, everything got a little murky. We've got some signatures flipped around. So, yeah, they're flip-flopped. It should be the seller on the petitioner, and it's not, it's the petitioner. So with it being kind of murky and stuff, I think we're gonna have to not approve this one. We're gonna have to go back to ZBA, refile the paperwork, and re-go through the ZBA, and the ZBA will give us a new recommendation.
Is that lot, the lot where the storage is going to be a separate standalone, correct? From your building, from the Casey's, will be 3 lots.
Right.
So in fact, we're creating a new lot from an existing lot. Okay, so I would say,
The variance paperwork has to be filled out by Casey's.
by Casey's, that's where it got flipped around. Only, now, say it was divided and you joined the two, your big building and then the rental, if you combine those two, you don't have to go to ZBA. It's a joining neighbor
I've already paid the engineering fee
for what the lots it is,
to have the
okay.
lot drawn up that way.
So
And I
just-
don't want to pay the engineering fee again,
Yeah.
rather than just running it through a redundant hearing.
All you have to do, you do have to, they have to re-petition seller, same format, same look, just the name has to be reversed, and that's it. Because you created a new lot within the city. Okay? So the
We'll have to go
seller,
through another public hearing with ZBA.
So-
ZBA would give us a recommendation, and then we act
go
on
through the
it.
motion.
Bill, does that cover all your questions before I make a motion?
Yes, but I still want to say
Yes.
something after the motion.
Yeah, so you can make a motion and then,
We're gonna make a motion in
Well,
form.
hold on a minute.
Huh?
I'm just new to this whole zoning board thing going right here. What is your concern? I mean, what?
My
what do you have to gain?
concern is that you have a subdivision ordinance. The petition needed to be filled out by the seller of record and owner. It was filled out by Larry Johnson, who is not the owner. Now, why Larry claims that he has a contract to buy it, I don't question that. However, your rules and procedures that I found on the website very clearly says that a contract buyer can petition, but must be included with the purchaser, must sign it, or I'm sorry, the seller must be included and do the proceeding. So it was filled out incorrectly, it was wrong, and it's not proper. Now, I'm gonna talk to you like I did the other council members on this subject. Probably in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I'm not adjoining to it. I own no property in the city of Henry. And basically it should be none of my business. But, sir, if you would take time, and you are a city alderman, and read the rules and procedures, like you're elected to do, you would find that my property actually is contiguous.
Basically, at the end of the day.
No, I'm gonna answer his question, Doug. He asked me a question, I wanna answer it, sir. Basically, you have a zoning ordinance that governs my property because I am contiguous to the city of Henry as subdivision ordinance. So if I want to subdivide my property ever, it has to come to the city of Henry for approval, even though we touch at a point. So what I'm saying is, I have standing to object that the zoning is not being done properly and accurately.
That's what I wanted to
I
know.
wanted to answer you.
Yeah, I just, new to it. I just
All right,
got back
well,
in.
and it's very clear if you would just read through the
But
information.
The thing about it is,
Thank you.
is what we saw, and again, that's why we didn't approve it right away. We said,
Sure.
it just seemed like a little odd, so we had to review it a few times, so we don't
I
move straight
understand, I
on.
want to make it clear that,
But you heard Mike's explanation, right? And it was,
I understand.
again, because we're creating a new law within the city, now you gotta get approval because it's gotta make sense to the city.
right, and it
And
has to
it's
be
gotta make
done,
sense to the neighbors.
and it has to be done by the seller.
Now, again, but if they were just combining a lot and just moving the size of adjoining lots, you could just go to the recorder's office.
I haven't researched that part.
Yeah, it's just a little
If
further down in there.
if that's what Mr.
Okay.
Johnson's
Yep.
gonna do, and you're gonna send it back,
I'm doing one right now, just so you know. We're
I'm
two
satisfied.
neighbors, we're adjoining, doing a demolition, and since we're just adjoining and we're not creating a new lot,
Yes.
then we don't have to. Okay?
I'll go
You
back to
understand
my last statement.
Okay.
The ruler measures 12 ways. If the city of Henry has the right to impose zoning and over subdivision on my property, I have the right to object when it's not being done properly inside the city of Henry.
And the takeaway is don't set a precedence
Yes.
from before. Okay?
Very fine.
But again, I think the direction forward is pretty easy, we just gotta
I
update
think
that.
there's some question if the 1.5 miles pertains with county zoning. I think our attorney could shed some light on that. But if you want us to run it redundantly back
Yeah.
through,
Yeah. It's simple.
it's been nice if I'd have known it a couple, 3 months ago, but we can do that.
Because the way the plat's laid out, it should be pretty easy, not a problem. That's all we have to do. Thank you.
Okay.
Does the city attorney want to answer Mr. Johnson?
Well, there's a difference between the 1.5 miles as far as zoning and subdivision. Zoning would be limited by the county, the subdivision is only limited as far as overlapping with another municipality. So they're two
Basically, the
different
city
things. They're
has
not the
no
same. Zoning
1.5
and
miles
subdivision,
anymore.
jurisdiction are not the same. So we're talking here about subdivision, not a change in zoning, which the city has jurisdiction within 1.5 miles of its boundaries.
If it's contiguous.
Well, yeah, that 1.5 miles.
Yeah.
It's contiguous touching, which I am.
Yeah.
So I'm right.
So
Well, you're right that the city would have jurisdiction over a subdivision.
Of subdivision.
Of subdivision, that's why I said zoning, well,
Yeah,
subdivision.
subdivision.
Which this is a subdivision.
Somebody else, somebody call.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
Thank you,
I'm
Dan.
gonna go ahead and make a motion in the form of approving ordinance 715. It's a final plat survey for Casey's subdivision, subdividing, or re-subdivision of lot 1, Western Commercial Park, the subdivision of part of sublot 3 of outlot 5 to be subdivided into 2 lots.
I will second that motion.
Carr,
Yes.
Joanne,
Yeah.
Brookfield,
No, there you go. It's. Tiebreaker.
Keith,
No.
Charles,
No.
Frederick,
No.
Brookfield,
already said no.
Spoke twice. You said-
okay, Shoreham,
No, we already said yes.
And then
well,
John.
they said yes,
2 yeses.
now I've changed that. And
That's
you're
okay.
still saying yes?
Motion carries.
So Carl and Shoreham,
Said yes.
yes. The rest were no.
Correct.
All
Okay.
right.
stand?
So I think as Dan said at this point,
It all goes back to.
It all has to go back to the ZBA.
exactly like you wanted, it all has to go back to the ZBA, the whole
Just
notice
run
is
Filling
hearing.
out the paper.
All we gotta do is flip the one signature on the thing, we should be.
Good to go. That's right.
And it'll be
It'll
another.
line with Joe.
Exact like the last.
I know I spoke quite a bit, if I could have one more minute.
Yeah.
I don't see why, Mr. Johnson, you didn't just admit your shortcoming in the filing, that you didn't do it properly, and not cost the city a bunch of legal fees here? And you're accused of fighting. Larry, shut up, I'm not done talking. Okay, let me
You
finish.
got a problem there, take it out here, this has nothing to do with us.
That's not a minute, that's an
No.
attack, let's not,
All right, I'm done.
let's not, let's not, let's not.
All right, I'm done.
Go on again.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Council.
Water and sewer?
Got well, let me have Judd elaborate on what's here. In brief, there's a bid for doing the electric relocate and the generator and putting the 100 amp service back into the old building, correct?
Yeah, this will completely hook up both wells, the pool building, the maintenance building, and the standby generator. This is less expensive than what his original estimate was, but this also now includes a panel for SCADA for the future, so that we can eventually put all the controls in that building, so that we can start. It's just a move towards the future. So it's an improvement, and it's a firm quote.
In round figures, can you tell us what the electrical work, the generator, and the new service to the old building?
The generator around $30,000. The service to the maintenance building, I couldn't tell you what that is off the top of my head, but the generator is about $30,000.
Is the pole down by the restroom building, is that staying? Or is that going?
The pole down there is staying right now because it still feeds, the big heavy wire will be off, but that pole stayed because it still feeds the lights.
Yeah.
So if we want, eventually, we could pull out of this building right here eventually, or out of the maintenance.
Well, no, it was just a
whatever.
question of whether those, we never had a diagram on this whole thing, but when we were talking about it before, back in March, whether those transformers are going to stay on that, those drums are going to stay on that box, or I'm sorry, on that pole, or those were moving up and all that.
Yeah, we're putting new transformers up the top of the hill.
Yeah, over here on Front Street by, just for everybody else, on Front Street by Mechanical, right close to Mechanical. Yeah.
Do we have some kind of breakdown of what's labor in this and what's actual material?
You have everything in front of you. Because it's a design build, so it's just he doesn't submit necessarily what his labor is versus that. He's submitting it. Because we went a design build route, it's a lump sum, so and this price tag is actually, we're actually getting more equipment than what we were before, and it's the other quote that we had, the other proposal that we had was only about $3,000 less than that, and it didn't include quite a bit of actually what we started targeting here. So from a comparative aspect, this is a much better price than what we had from the other one.
So I'm ignorant, what does design build mean? Is that it's a custom constructed, engineered system, or it's still off the shelf materials and just?
It's a design system, so a design bid build is where we design everything, and we would hire electrical engineers to design everything, and then we would put it up for bid. We would get bids from different contractors, and then we would award that and construct it. what we did here is a design build on the electrical portion of this. So as, just trying to save money on the electrical design aspect, so without having to hire, we've hired electrical engineers, but they're more of controls engineers to help in evaluating the proposals that we got. But if we'd actually hired them to design it, the price would have been probably 3 times as much, so.
So now, this
We're
price
basically
here-
trying to save on the electrical and design aspect.
This price here would complete the project.
This
correct?
completes it, yes.
This completes it. And this would be really the only documentation moving forward. There would be no other diagrams or anything else. This would just going to be.
I've got some more, one-line diagrams that he'll be, getting final diagrams for us, but,
Those wouldn't be at any additional cost.
no. That's just finalizing.
Finalize the actual design.
The actual design.
It'll be kind of like the as-built.
Right.
As-built.
480 volt service instead of 240.
So essentially,